Will you please welcome Rene Garcia?
Okay, I actually gave this one a title. It's called The Callback and the Bolo Tie. So, I had a callback yesterday at 7700 Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood for a National Dish Network commercial. It would be my very first commercial, and it would make me SAG eligible, so it would pay pretty well. I was excited. The wardrobe in the audition, and therefore the callback, called for dressing like a cowboy with a mustache and hat and bolo tie and boots, etc. So I fearlessly left my house in the San Fernando Valley en route to Hollywood, about an hour early in costume and equipped with my Texas accent. Stopped at a red light at Hollywood and Highland, taking a moment to gaze at the crowd as I took a deep breath. Looking at the crowd, which always gathers there at that intersection, I felt strangely at home in my cowboy getup, seemingly blending in with Spider-Man walking across Hollywood Boulevard at Highland with his bicycle, or Wonder Woman posing for pictures with the tons of tourists there, or with freak shows on the sidewalk like the bald man I saw dressed in a plain, dirty white t-shirt and old ratty jeans who was holding up both arms, displaying his biceps for all the world to see, out there on the sidewalk with a bucket in front of him to collect money, yelling into the passing crowds, "Come on up and feel Mr. Universe! Step right up!" Oh yeah. I felt two things at that very moment, in that very location. I felt both strangely at home, and I felt that I had finally arrived. Arrived at what? I still don't quite know yet. At any rate, it only took another 6 minutes to get to my destination. But right before walking in, I realized that I had left the bolo tie at home. Shit. I'm always told that it's very important for a callback to dress exactly the same as in the original audition. Because, I mean, after all, they liked what they saw and heard the first time, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
You guys awake or what? Come on. So, in a panic, I got on my phone and Googled costume shops nearest to me in that part of Hollywood. I didn't have much luck with I couldn't get a signal very well. So, out of the window of my car, I ended up accosting a few people on the sidewalk who were not in the least bit taken aback by a nervous, high-strung guy leaning out the window of a Honda CR-V with dark sunglasses on, a painted-on mustache, a cowboy hat a half size too small, a dark brown western shirt with really annoying designs on it, and jeans and old faded leather boots. They just very matter-of-factly told me of a costume shop a few blocks away. He says, "Yeah, man, just go up Sunset a few blocks that way until you get to Vine," he said. "Then take a left and you'll see the shop on the left just a couple blocks down. Good luck," he said. Well, as you might imagine, glancing at my watch and seeing the time ticking away, getting dangerously close to my callback time, I stepped on the gas, startling a couple of tourists crossing the street in front of me, drove in the direction I was given, ended up parking 2 blocks away from the store because of limited parking. Getting out of my car, hat and mustache and all, and with the gracefulness of an Olympic sprinter in cowboy boots, I sprinted full speed down the sidewalk to Vine Street, almost knocking people over on the way. I took a right on Vine, sprinting past 4 storefronts until I found the store I was looking for. Opening the door to the establishment, out of breath, and looking like I was high on speed and crack, bugged out eyes and sweaty and all. I nervously asked the woman behind the counter to show me where the bolo ties were, to which I got the response in very broken English. Eh? Bolo qué? After which, about 15 seconds of trying to explain to her in Spanish and very rudimentary sign language that I invented on the fly, another employee walked up and asked me in a rude way what the fuck my problem was. I kindly made my request to her. She looked at me with a blank stare for about a beat. And then she laughed and she says, "We don't carry that kind of stuff here." I paused, slowed my breath a bit, and looked around the store, and there were women's undergarments everywhere. Negligees, panties, garter belts. I was in the wrong store. Upset but not defeated, I asked for the nearest costume shop. I ran again in a full sprint, sweating profusely this time. Another 2 blocks in the direction from which I came, approaching some Japanese tourists on the sidewalk who immediately pulled out their cameras and tried to snap pictures of the mustachioed cowboy in shades and hat sprinting by in a blur. I walked up to the costume shop called Hollywood Toys and Costumes, hesitating for a moment outside of the store, staring at the sign, and because of my bad luck, and because of its name, I was afraid that it might be a sex toy shop, which certainly would not have bolo ties, so, well, I decided to take a chance anyway. I ran in through the entrance with the same intensity as my entry into the previous store. I asked the employee there, and to my surprise, he immediately showed me the way to the bolo ties. Wow! Finally, there were 2 to choose from. Tough choice. The black one with the silver horse head on it, or the silver one with the longhorn head on it. Well, I'm from Texas, so which one do you think I chose? The longhorn one, right? So I bought it really quickly and sprinted to my car, booked it to the callback only 8 minutes late, and I still waited another 20 minutes to be seen anyway. I did well in the callback, but I don't think I got the job since I haven't gotten a call yet telling me I booked it. But that's okay. The experience alone will be a memory that I will not soon forget. Hey, since I know now that I can blend in with the circus atmosphere at Hollywood and Highland, maybe I'll show up there in my cowboy outfit and make extra money that way. This callback may end up paying off after all.